Good evening and welcome to this week's segment of Dialogue Houston. I'm your host, Lawrence Payne. To our regular viewing audience, welcome. To those joining us perhaps for the first time here for ACC TV's Dialogue Houston, we're now on every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and again on Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. So that's Tuesday and Thursday, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. As always, in the top of the hour, let me thank you for your calls, emails, and text messages concerning previous shows and your very thoughtful suggestions and ideas for upcoming topics, guests, and subjects to be covered on future segments of Dialogue Houston. We have a great show planned for you today, and we want you to stay tuned and stay with us throughout. Let me just tell you how it's going to go this evening. We have our wonderful, wonderful Vice Chancellor of Instructions who's going to be in the first segment, and I'm going to say a little bit more about him in a minute. We then have a wonderful author who is a person really involved and dedicated to education and in the field of education in her own right, Ms. Yvonne Washington. And then I have a couple of surprises that I'm going to be talking about as we go through the various breaks about a creative new idea. When I say creative and innovative new idea of what to do finally with the Astrodome. And this one is picking up traction, and this one is beginning to get some wings and some legs underneath it, and I think it will hopefully be the one that will prevail. In our last segment, we're going to be joined by two great friends to look at this wonderful MWBE ordinance that the City of Houston has just passed, expanding their goals, and I'll let them tell you what the new magic number is, and also adding women back into the equation that was taken out a few years ago. So please stay tuned. As you can see, we have a lot in store and in line for you this evening. But let me start off by introducing our first guest. We talk about education in many, many ways. When it comes down to a school and a college and a system is just an expansion of one school campus, we always say the thing that makes that school great, the number one thing we always trace it back to is a great principal, i.e. a great instructional leader. Those I didn't say a good one, I said a great instructional leader. ACC's campus has been blessed and is blessed to have such a leader, such an instructional leader as part of what makes this university and this college great. And that is none other than our own Dr. Charles Cook, who is the Associate Chancellor, Vice Chancellor rather, of Instructions for the Houston Community College System. Welcome, Dr. Cook.
Well, thank you, Larry. I don't know about putting all that credit to me. Obviously, we have a great faculty, and that's where it really all starts. We're very lucky being in Houston in that such a diverse city, so many talented people here that bring such a wealth of information and experience to their job. So we have a great instructional team.
And I put it that way on purpose because I was going to lead into that, and you kind of took my next piece, because that instructional leader, that instructional principal, however you want to call it, then hires and puts together a great set of teachers and instructors, because that's what it boils down to.
Absolutely. I mean, we're only as good as the people we put in front of our students.
Yep.
And we're constantly scouring to find the right person out there who can teach all the different subjects. As you know, we teach everything from anthropology to zoology and everything in between. So.
And 70,000 plus students.
And 70,000 plus students, that's right.
And as we were talking before we started filming, the important thing about people think it's not easy to find the type of teacher that you're talking about, instructor, because we have such a variety of students, not only of programs that we offer, of courses we offer, but the variety of the students that we have, and even the age range. So someone that can really teach and reach each one of those, that's a different kind of person.
That's absolutely correct. And the community college is the place where people can keep their education going. We live in a time when your education really never ends. Maybe some students don't want to hear that, but it's true. I mean, technology is changing so fast, developments occur so fast, you can never really stop learning. You have to constantly keep learning, keep finding out what's new out there in your field so you can keep on top of things.
And we grew up in the era about not only being told about being lifelong learners, but we also had that thing, well, you never stop doing homework.
You have that right.
You never stop having homework.
You have that right.
If you're going to learn and grow, you're going to always have homework.
That's right. And I was preparing some notes for you, and I was saying that in the past century, the 20th century, Are we used to saying 21st
What you mean, way back then?
Back then.
When we couldn't move the TV
That's
when you
right.
were...
way back in the 20th century, you could go into the job market with the high school education.
Right.
I mean, typically, you could still find a good middle-class job and expect a middle-class lifestyle with a good high school education. But that's no longer the case.
Right.
I mean, they are saying 60, 65, 70% of jobs today require at least a certificate, if not an associate degree, and many require a baccalaureate degree.
And one's earning power is definitely affected by that degree, is it not?
Absolutely. I hope you've seen our billboards around town, earn more, learn more.
Right.
And they go in combination with each other. The U.S. Department of Labor just put out their latest statistics last week, and it keeps getting further and further apart. The more education you have, the more you're going to earn.
Right.
Today's certificate and associate degree earners are going to earn anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 a year more than the high school student, high school graduate, I should say. And if you dropped out of high school, you're going to earn almost $20,000 a year more.